this last couple weeks, there was a lot of firsts for us, and it was really exciting. And as much as I'd like to say that it doesn't matter, because I want people to understand that we make music first, most importantly for ourselves, and we write about, I think, like really important and deep and intelligent things, and we try to make articulate and intelligent pop music. There is still this part of you that really wants to see your name on the Billboard charts, and there is part of you that wants to be on Ellen, like when you're not when you're writing the songs, but when you're starting to promote. And I think it's important to visualize the things that you hope to accomplish. When we first put out Closer, I was so worried because some of the diehards that we actually have a relationship with were resistant. Like they were part of that group that I think really revolted.
Did they revolt or were they revolted?
They were revolted and they revolted.
It's sad for them.
Yeah. I always joke we're like fish for our generation. It's like there's a whole community, and there's like a whole, like it's like the Grateful Dead all over again or something. Like, you know, we have our own version of deadheads that are following us around. So they have an opinion, and they should have an opinion. That's what the internet's for, I think.
Porn
and community boards to talk about Tegan and Sara.
Statistically, I don't know that for a fact. I just know that that's what people say.
Gotcha. It's porn and
trillion-dollar
Tegan and Sara message boards. Okay, so but the second thing that happened that was really exciting was that we did start a conversation with our audience where we reminded them not to write themselves off, like to give themselves more credit. They didn't come to us because we had a big hit on radio. We've built our audience year after year by doing collaborations with other artists, by doing press, by being a band that people like to see over and over and over again. And that if you go and poll everybody in the audience, they all found out about us in different ways. And so the idea that our sound was changing and evolving and that we were biting off a bigger piece of the mainstream was a compliment to them. Their celebration and support of us year after year after year was what encouraged us and made us feel like we could do anything and we could make any kind of music and allow our influences to come out in any way that we wanted to. And it was like things changed. All of a sudden, those diehards came back and they were like, this is really exciting. And I think they just needed to be reminded that they created this monster.
I personally think that what's happening in music in general, whether it's on the Billboard charts or it's not, I just think there's some tremendous stuff happening, and it seems to be like, regardless of what the aesthetic is or what genre it fits into, there seems to be a focus back on songwriting. And as much as people might complain about the way certain bands present themselves or the sound that they present themselves with, there seems to be a focus again on melody and just good songwriting. And you can, however you feel about like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, all the way down to, you know, like what's happening maybe more in the like alternative or, you know, like hipster indie, you know, world. There's lots of bands that are writing really fantastic songs. There is a teeny bopper element when you think of like One Direction or Bieber or like, you know, Taylor Swift or whatever, but I think some of this music is getting, you know, is really being accepted and sort of, I guess, like getting accepted by the parents as well, or like the older generation, you know, it's sort of
people our age. I mean, pop music for us meant something different, right? It was like New Order and Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. And then there was this whole era of music, like pop music that came out that everyone was like, ooh, it's horrible. It's just dancing and lycra and awful. And now pop music's kind of really interesting again. I mean, you turn on the radio and I think that people are demanding a lot more depth to their pop music. So I think, yeah, Sarah's right. There's like a pretty diverse, you know, selection of people that are into pop. Thank God. When they called us and said that it was going to debut in the top 5, we were blown away. That was definitely
top 10. I think would have even really excited us.
Yeah, honestly, we didn't even have a conversation about what we were hoping for because that's the way we are. There isn't probably a ton of explanation for how excited we, like, it's unnecessary to even try to explain. Of course we were excited. Imagine any person from any part of our existence just all texting and emailing and calling at the same time being like, holy crap. I mean, there were so many years where we really did not do very well that it was really exciting to debut at number 3.
I can't wait to show my grandchildren in the space station Justin Bieber, and then, well, okay, we were number 3, but it was like basically it was us and Justin Bieber, and I was just like, it
was one of those things that was similar to getting nominated for a Grammy last year. Like, it's just this, there is truly this moment where you realize that all these things that you didn't think were important, like getting nominated for a Grammy or debuting in the top 5 on Billboard, that you're like, this actually makes us seem really credible.
Do you think Biebs bought our record?
He did retweet his musical director saying that he bought our record.
But do you think he bought it?
I think it counts because I'm sure probably.
Do you think he bought the deluxe version, or do you think he just bought the 10-song version?
I have no idea. in the UK, we're going with I Was a Fool as the single, so I have a feeling that would be a single here as well. Certainly, I think we're going to do that in Canada. So
Yeah.
it's so tough because radio is really weird in America. There's like, first of all, it's just extremely long. Every other territory will probably be onto a second or third single, and we'll still be working closer here. It feels like forever, but I think our intention is probably something in the I Was a Fool range.
We're really excited to tour with them. They are so lovely. It's always good to tour with your friends, and I think, it's hard to be away from the people that you love and you care about, and, if you can create sort of like a normal routine and get to have those kinds of relationships on the road, I think it really just adds to the touring experience. And so, we haven't spoken a lot with them about like any sort of tour shenanigans or any sort of collaborations, but Jack and I have been texting, and he sent me a big list of things that we could do this summer together, and involve things like horseback riding and go-karts and like all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know if he's joking around, but it got me really excited thinking it was going to be like summer camp.